So right there is the entrance of my house in Mexico. And I say my house, but really it's my family's house. All my siblings grew up there. My parents stayed there even before they had any of my siblings. And that's a place that they'll always know as home. Unfortunately, due to some circumstances, they can't go. Or they could go, but they just can't come back, better said. But I fortunately can. So I went right there at the entrance. I already felt very familiar with the place, just based off of stories that they tell me all the time. That soccer field is where they used to play all the time. That dirt road is not a dirt road, it's called a barranca. And basically when it rains in Mexico, that whole dirt road thing turns into a fucking huge river, believe it or not. So that's where the river used to pass by. That's why it's all pebbles and dirt and shit, because it's what the river brings. But going up this little hill, that's where our house is, and we have some people staying there who I'm pretty sure is my cousin and his family, but I'm not close to them at all. And yeah, that whatever. But there in the entrance, that's where they stay, and then separate is a room, I guess, or two, that's locked away. No one could go in there except my brother and me. So he gave me the key. It took me a little while to open the lock. I think it was stuck because it hadn't been open in a while, but it used to be filled. There was a mattress in there, or beds. There was a bunch of furniture, my dad's rifle, a bunch of stuff. But slowly over the years, my brother, he took the furniture because if not, it was gonna get rotted away and stuff. At one point, the roof collapsed and my parents sent money to get it rebuilt, so that's why there's a bunch of dirt on the floor. Also because it's not occupied. And the only things left there, old pictures, old cassette player, two actually, the bed frames, my mom's Santos, on a little desk. There was an old ropero, I think is what it is, and a bunch of little small things that and a bunch of CDs. But that was basically it. So it's pretty much empty. So I went and I had to take the pictures because I felt like something bad was gonna happen to them, and I just wanted to bring them back to their rightful owners. So even though it was in their house, I feel I don't know, they weren't safe there, I think, even though they've been there for years. But I don't know, I just had a feeling. I don't know if you'll see, but the bathrooms over there in Mexico, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them in the rancho and the less fortunate places, you'll have to use a bucket to flush the toilet, or you might not even have a toilet. But that's just how it is. It's normal over there. You might be asking, how do you wash your hands? Same thing, bucket, get some soap, pour it, obviously. So shower too, bucket. You're chilling though. You see the bathroom there, they used to have a curtain. I don't know why they don't have a curtain up, but that's whatever they're doing. Some history about the house. When my family left Mexico and came to the US, they were afraid something was going to happen to their house. There's a bunch of greedy people in there. We might get robbed. They might try to do something to the house. So in order to keep that from happening, there's this thing called a tayoko. Basically what that is, it's a normal rock, okay? Like a rock you see outside, it's a rock, but it has a face. And I'm not saying you could see details and stuff. I'm just saying it has two slits for the eyes and a slit for the mouth. It's witchcraft. It is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't have an opinion on it. Or I do, but I'm not gonna say it. Basically, you make a trade with it. So you say, I'll give you, it takes cigarettes and beer, I think, or liquor. So you say, I'll give you one beer or one cigarette. You just gotta protect my house in exchange. So before my dad left, he said, alright, listen, I'm gonna give you a cigarette to protect my house until the day I come back. And he left it on the windowsill. And you might be thinking, okay, he's gonna protect the house, but what exactly does that mean? It means that anybody that it doesn't know is gonna get messed with. They're gonna get sick. They're gonna get scared. They're gonna feel cold anytime they try to enter the house. my brother, it knew about it. So it knew my brother, you could say. So anytime my brother would go in, he'd be fine. But let's say he was moving like one of the furniture pieces, he'd call up some friends. And anytime their friends would go in, the next day they'd get very sick. Whenever they were there, they'd feel cold. They'd feel paranoid, I guess you could say. They didn't feel right. And also, the thing would whistle at them. So they'd be in the house, and then you just hear a random whistle or a knock on the door and stuff. It's basically trying to scare them to get out because they don't belong there. So that's its main job. It's to protect the house. So when I went, I didn't film this part because I don't know, like, it's kind of creepy. I FaceTimed my dad, and he talked to The Rock and let him know who I was and who I was with. But keep in mind, my girlfriend was there with me. So at first I saw it and I talked to it. I was like, yo, I'm all chill. I'm family. Don't fuck with me type shit. I didn't say that exactly, obviously. But in simple terms, that's what I said. My dad talked to it and he said, look, keep protecting the house. I'll be back soon. But for now, just keep doing what you're doing. Basically what he said. So I go in and I look through all the stuff. Darius flipped like a book and it had like a lizard on it, and she got like freaked out. That was funny as fuck. On the way out, we saw like a little scorpion, which that's what I wanted to do, because I went to the zoo. I went to 2 zoos, an aquarium and a zoo, and I seen scorpions, but I wanted to see one like in the wild, and there was one in the exit of the house. It's like a little baby scorpion. And so yeah, I tied all of my stuff, like they were in bags, and I tied it across my like my bag. So I tied it like it had a cross body bag type thing, and I tied it around there, and I was carrying 2 heavy ass things from the house to we went to go visit my uncle, because he has a store right there, like where the soccer field is, where you see that like actual like road that has like bricks laid down. He has a store right there. So we went to go visit him after. But before we left, we were walking out the house, and as I was locking things up, Reese looked at The Rock and she was like, yo, do you see that? So I'm like, okay. I look and I'm like, yeah, it's a rock, right? She's like, no, do you see the face? And I'm like, yeah, I see the face. Like, it has two slits for the eyes and a slit for the mouth. Which, by the way, you know how you have to offer it a cigarette? You could see the ashes. You offer it a cigarette and it smokes it. But I'll continue that lore some other time on like a horror themed video, because there's so much that happened in that house, like scary stories and stuff. But anyways, she's like, do you see that? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just a face. And she's like, no, the face looks so much more clear now. And you know, I think because it knew me and I was part of the family, I guess it didn't really freak me out. But apparently she said the face became more vivid to her, so she could see it more clearly, and it was like a creepy face. And I think it did that because it like scared her, because you know, she's not really part of the family fully, I guess. So to me, I was chilling, but to her, since she's still a little foreign, I think that's its way of making her not a threat without being a threat to her, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, so we dipped out of there because then she started freaking me out. I was like, yo, you're experiencing some wild ass shit, so let's dip. Visit my uncle. He has this beautiful green parrot. I've always wanted a parrot. He has this big ass parrot. He has a really nice we call it local, which is his store. Really nice store. I saw my aunt, my uncle, and then I went to go visit my other aunt, because like I said, I have a huge family and I couldn't visit all of them. So throughout the days I was there, each day I'd go see a different aunt and uncle. And then I'm pretty sure we didn't do much after that. Like, after we visited the house, I just went to my sister's house. I went through all the pictures, and as I mentioned, the ceiling collapsed at one point, and they got a bunch of concrete, like powder or whatever, and dust like all over the pictures. They were in a bag, but you know, it still gets in there. So as I was sorting through them, I was inhaling all the concrete and the fucking dirt, so I couldn't breathe. Like, I'd go, and when I would go out, I'd have like a blockage, so I couldn't like breathe normally. And in the night, it gets super fucking hot, so I wasn't really enjoying my sleeps there unless I had the window open. And even then, you know, it's still hot. So I couldn't breathe, and they got to the point where I was like, oh my god, I'm panicking. So I stepped outside, because if you go outside, it'd feel cooler than if you were inside. So that's the only way I could breathe, and I was just sitting there, and I was like walking around like panicked. I didn't want to wake anyone up. It was really late. And eventually I would like cough so much that I started puking. So I went to go puke, and I came back and I said I felt better. And I think from so much puking and all the walking I did all day, I got so tired that I just fell asleep. So next day in the night, you know, same thing happens. During the day I didn't really feel that much, but same thing happens. And this time my sister's there. And over there, you don't really take medicine, like pills and stuff. You get a fucking shot, like an injection. So she's like, oh, I got this thing. I think you're, I don't know how to say it in English. Like, something in your lungs is like clogged or something, right? I have this shot. Do you want it? And my mom used to be a nurse, so she knows how to like, how to do shots. And I've always been like, I don't want a needle in me, so I'm like, no thank you, I'll just take like ibuprofen or like, you know, like regular pill medicine. Over there they don't have that kind of stuff. Like, as they do have it, but that's not their go-to. So basically I went to Mexico and my sister injected me, and I did feel better. I'm not gonna lie, that shit helped, and I could finally breathe. So I was like, oh, thank God. It's a shot in your butt, by the way. Like, you think it's like an arm shot? No, you lay flat, you get your ass cheek out, and boom. But that shit works, so fuck it. Anyways, after that, I was like, okay, I want to look through the photos. So I spent like an hour or so with Darius. She would get a wet wipe. It was it didn't have like bleach or anything in it, so it wouldn't ruin the pictures. So she would clean it, pass it to me, and then I'd like air dry it and then stack it. And the pile looked like this because they were like, the pictures were kind of like folded. We cleaned them so much that they actually like got flat, so the pile went from this to like this. So we packed them up in the suitcase. All our aunts and uncles and stuff gave us like seeds and chapulines, which if you don't know are like grasshoppers, a bunch of peanuts and stuff like that, to bring to my parents. And that was basically it. That was, I think, not our last night in Tete or Acatlan, but I think it was close. And then next video will be me going back to Puebla. And then the next day, we left in the morning to head to Mexico City, where we would spend the last 2 days and nights. And there was a little mishap with the hotel at first, so you'll see all of that. I still have a vlog coming out about that zoo I'm talking about, and the aquarium, and I still have to upload the video of my first time flying, which was really scary, but I think it was pretty funny. And then I filmed the second time flying too. And yeah, basically Mexico vlog series is close to an end, but not quite yet done. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. I appreciate the support on the last video. I just checked, it's at 80 views, so thank you so much for that. But enjoy this video of me finally going home.
lo guardaba. Ahorita había otro como cuarto y era la cocina. Ajá, en este espacio. Here, hold my thing. Son piedras que tienen energía y espantan a la gente. Bueno, esa es la...
Nah, what? No manches. Ah, que no.
¿Quién lo van a retrachar? Sí, tío. ¿Está usted solito, tío? Mire, es el hijo más chiquito de su hermana y de
¿Sí? ¿Sí? ¿Es mi hermana Betty?
mi tío Uva, abuelita.
Es mi tierno, mijito, manito, que
¿Es el chiquitito que vas en tu vientre?
sí,
Hijo, no está bien grandote, mija.
sí, está bien grandote, manita, manito.
Y mancha, pues bien grande. Hasta ni lo reconocía bien. Ya tiene rato que no había venido para acá porque ni lo conocía bien.
No, pues no ha ido ni una vez, apenas la primera vez que fue.
Ajá, qué bien.
Sí,
¿Y tú?
manito, por ahí
¿Y tú?
te va a dar aunque sea unos centavitos.
Ah, sí, manta, gracias.
Órale, pues, manito, ahí platica con ellos.
Sí, aquí voy a platicar con ellos aquí. Con mi sobrino la Lili que me lo presentó. Creo que ni lo conocía yo muy bien.
No, pues ni lo conoces.
No, iba en tu vientre que lo conocer. Hasta allá nació, ¿no?
Sí, pues, sí, aquí nació.
Ah, y manta.
Órale, pues, ahí te dejo con ellos.
Y manta. Ahí cuídate, Leo. Leo, te saludo otra vez. Hay que vaya a dormir. Y manta.
Ok, adiós.
Ya, manta chula.
Adiós, adiós.
Sí, ma.
Ese es tu tío. Ahí se le da los amigos. Ahí sí, sí. Besos a la Cheli y a la Nade.
Ajá.
Mira que tú chiquito.
Ok, ma.
Ahí
Adiós.
pues. Hablas.
Sí. Mire.
Mira, manta, aquí está mi nieta, fíjate. La Narel.
Take a bigger sip.
Sabe a café, más que sabe más a café.